Enoy Extreme Media UJ. Subscribe for all updates.
Uganda national team eya boxing ayebikonde egendedde mu taxi number Z774R bannange ebabula abagenda mu mpaka za kulwana kukiikirira ggwanga naye bagendedde mu taxi kati ekibiina kino mutubuulire sente ze zitaliiwo kiki eno timu ya ggwanga egeze ekiikirira ggwanga naye laba taxi gyegendeddemu bagenda Kenya kimanyi bali mu Pwadro mpaka Samuel naye tebalina nakatakisi tebalina yadde akadroni eno Uganda boxing team agitwala jangu wano mutubuulire mwatuuka ddi okugendera mu taxi wano kutiika emigugu mu taxi
awamu n'okwebaza federation of course tebibadde byangu nga bwe mumanyi nti tulina challenges nyingi nnyo ffe nga federation more so in the area of funding nti ne tiimu eno akasente katono nnyo era musanze wano nga ngezaako okubabuulira abaana bano tulina challenge y'amaanyi nnyo era national council my brother Chebet one of our biggest challenges is funding that this whole entire year twakafuna million 13 okuva mu national council zatuyambako okuteeka novices nezigwawo kati tiimu eno tusa okugenda nga tetulina any sort of funding from council. They were unable to support us naye nga baboxer mulina okusigala nga temukowa because boxing is a historical sport wano mu Uganda muwangudde emidaali Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games, so tetulina kukowa tulina kusigala nga tulwana mpaka lwe tunatuuka kuyengedde. Mbadde mwogera naye mulimbyemu coach mugambe nti babatendese nti ole kyemwogere nti muteeseteese bulungi tiimu ekyo mba mulimba because tosobola nti toteeseteese bulungi tiimu nga teri mu kampu ya myezi ng'ebiri temulina equipment bana tebalina allowance go balese waka kasente ka emmere oba okitegedde because ideally training camp ennungi it has been a residential camp mbadde mu training ground musana nga mbalaba musana guwocha because you're doing intensive training wetaaga ne environment nga kinga nungi so ideally ku nteekateeka ya boxing temuteeseteese bulungi naye kwa sports people babazibamu ekintu ky'empisa nti golina kugamba ne bakuuli ogamba munaye weebale mulinga aba Bible gwe bakuuli noga akyusa nabo bakwendeki the side endala but that said tekitegeeza nti temugenda kuwangula because you're very good boxers tubalinamu essuubi mubadde mu Champions League we know you can do the best that you can era omuntu yenna n'awangula nze nkyogera ebbanga lyonna nti ebikola win biba bintu nga bisatu ekisooka kya byonna preparation you're contributing about 80% preparation friendly games because now you should have had friendly games nemwegezesaamu n'amawanga amalala getugenda okuzanya nago because you're going to a very big competition erimu ensi 13 Congo, Cameroon, Kenya, Ethiopia twalibadde tugenda mu mpaka zino nga twakoye ne bufriendlies kyebaita okweteekateeka coach twandibadde nga tuimportinze technical people bacoach abasobola okutwongerako technical nga lwe twalide Cuba ne tubalaba so there's a lot we need to do era ndowooza mu maaso tujja kweyongera okwogera national council okwongera okutegeera our challenges maybe basobola okutuyambako so preparation contributing about 80% kati ekiddako 10% oba 15% jiba mikisa kalula gy'abakuwadde no 15% maanyigo koze 80 preparation 15% gaba maanyigo effort yo acho abumbeera nga muzanya coach agamba kati munaye bukimu kiganye kozesa ki amaanyigo nga secondinga do whatever you can okitegeera kakati 5% esigadde ye mikisa gya Katonda olusi ne mutuuka mu ring opponent n'afuna kati noyitawo oba n'ata making a weight no wangula so you have either 5% emikisa gya Katonda 15% amanyigo neno 80% gye tutalina ya preparation. Kati mugenda mu mpaka zino nga mugenda ku thriving on only 20%. Maanyi gammwe na mikisa gyaki gya Katonda. Because preparation kitegeeza bintu bingi nnyo okitegedde. So n'olwekyo tujja kweyongera okwengaginga ne government okutuyambako okutandika okupreparinga better. But nevertheless empaka zituuse zitandika nga 15. There are no excuses to make. You have to try the best you can tuwangule emidaali gino. Maybe bwe tukomawo n'emidaali, maybe ne mukama waffe National Council asobola okusanyuka n'agamba kambawe n'ekijjulo oba kambawe ka allowance. Mr. Chebet, this team is traveling without allowances. Tebalina allowance, temugenda kufuna allowance bade tulina sente. But ideally National Council yandibadde tuwa ka support ako naffe tuwa waki akasente ako. So n'olwekyo embeera nga bweri tulina gisurvivingiramu tuwasubiramu buwanguzi bwereere. It's a tough competition. Mwegendeze nnyo abakongo bali very aggressive, bakuba akadde bwati yena akolaki n'atandikirawo. I don't know bakumwajaza nnyo kwa abakongo wanaani kumwe kubaze wa box the Congolese kumwe maniro wakuba walala era kusanga bakuba wali omusajja babita Peter Kabeji bangi nnyo n'abamanyi abalala enzanya yabagimanyi captain. Then abalala bali very aggressive. Cameroon nabo bali dangerous nnyo olukuba akadde talinda okitegedde era box omu yekayeka yakubako omukongo wasosali yakuba omukongo wano I think Pride Conti badde bakoze open invitation basubira ne Mozambique okuleta baboxa Mozambique bamanyi manyi alo box yakuba Mozambique n'amumenya emikono Muzanga banamuleta ne musangayo aleka ali mu ekyamanirora no yo pro ne yagenda kuzanya same thing kasima bamanyi musajja bamita Muzanga yakuba oyo musajjani anigwe yamenya emikono Muzamiru kyamu so kakati empaka ze mugendamu ziri a bit different era mulina okubanga namwe omulaga nti Uganda is the king of boxing. Era mwezi zino zona ze twogerako historically it has been Kenya, Uganda, ndoza nechi Ghana. Uganda, Kenya, Ghana zensi zimanyikidwa mu kuzanya ebikonde. Nega tuze tudiriye mabega era mugenda bayina mwe competition esooka. Ate jukira ensi zone za Africa ziwachinga Champions League. Kati bagamba babefula bachampion twagala okola ki okuzanya nabo. So you have to know mutukikiridde fenna temina tuswaza ate mulina okujja ekifaananyi kya Champions League because it's broadcasted all over Africa. Kati bagamba ba champion abo bebaani. So manirora nkwina mu essuubi ly'amaanyi nnyo namwe mwena ba champion gayo muli wano. Ekirungi ekiriwo nti mugenda kutuuka I think tomorrow morning. So bajja bapikinga babatwale mu hotels zamwe, then we can see how to start preparing. Ebisigadde byonna bina kocha babitegeera. So mwebale nnyo okumpuliriza kantwale omukisa guno okuyita mukama wa National Council Dohoza Chebet naye aba addressing. Then from there tugende tukebye tulina okukola. Bomba zoye bomba zoye abawala nga temwogera enjali baluma temufaayo National Council egenda kwogera.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important occasion for us, the government, to recognize the efforts that are being put by the Uganda Boxing Federation to have representatives at the international level. So I want to thank, on behalf of the government and National Council of Sports, I want to thank the Uganda Boxing Federation for the continuity of the sport. I know when we talk about sports in this country, the history of sports in this country, you cannot fail to mention boxing. Because I do not know any other sport that has garnered so many medals at a global scene than boxing. We can talk about athletics, but I know boxing is it's a sport which has gotten so many medals right from 1950s. When you trace the history of the sports in this country, right from 1950s, I know when I checked in the history, Uganda Boxing Federation is also one of the oldest federations in this country, dating back to 1950s when it was formed. And even the first medal in Uganda to be obtained at the global scene was from boxing. That was 1950 or 1968.
Yeah.
That is when we got the Olympic medal. And we've continued. Now when you count the medals in Commonwealth alone, there are very many. Actually, over nine gold medals from boxing. So boxing, actually, like he said, I concur with him that actually in Africa, I think Uganda comes first, and it is known around the world for boxing. I think we even had a president who was a boxer, the president himself for the country, for the nation, who was a boxer. And boxing in Uganda is a household name. So I want to thank the president for carrying that legacy of boxing. And it is the reason why he said that do not go and shame us. I mean, so when you're in that ring, you know, when you're in that ring, compete with respect, you know, fight with determination. I heard him saying that we have the stamina, we have the strength, you know. So as you're fighting, fight with determination. And every punch that you give, it should be a message to the world that Uganda is still, you know, the champions when it comes to boxing. So I know boxing it's a game of discipline, by the way. That's what I know about boxing. So you must have a lot of discipline if you have to win. So as you go out there, you're carrying the aspirations of the country. You're going to carry the flag of the country. And that's the duty that we are going to do today. You know, we flag you off. When we say that we are flagging you off, we mean you're carrying the aspirations of the country. You're carrying the Ugandan flag out there. So it is your duty to represent us well when you reach out there. And that's why I'm talking about discipline. When you're out there, be disciplined. Listen to your coaches. When they tell you don't eat this place, otherwise I'm told that in boxing, they also check your weight, and you know, he may tell you please eat this food, and you refuse, and within the next day you've lost 1 kg. By the time you go to the ring, they tell you no, you cannot compete. So when you reach out there, listen to your coaches, listen to everybody, and you know, just be disciplined and focused. You have trained, you have done everything, you've been selected. There are very many other boxers out there, by the way. I'm sure there are very many, but out of the many, you're the one who has been selected because of your talent, so you're also representing the other ones. So as you go out there, know that you're representing us. Please die a little bit in that ring, you know. Fight with determination, with focusedness, you know, and that is how the medals will come. I've heard the cry from him. The government is deliberate now to sponsor sportsmen and ladies, and you guys, you're doing sport at, let me say, at the right time, when government is now deliberately supporting our sportsmen and ladies through different ways. You've heard of the sports arenas which are being built, and I'm asking the president also that probably we have now a Kibua which is going to be commissioned next month, in December. It is going to be handed over, and it has a multidisciplinary complex, including the indoor stadium, which I'm sure boxing will be one of the games that can be hosted there. So with time we can also host the international games. So the government is putting in. It is also supporting all the federations. I know the budget may not be enough to cater for each and everything. For instance, boxing. I know boxing is it has so many events, but this is a discussion that we can start through planning, through strategic planning. We can have an engagement on how to increase on the funding, because I've seen boxing is doing well. So government alone may not fully sponsor, but among all the federations that government has given money in the last quarter, I know Uganda Boxing Federation has also received some funding, although like I said, it may not be enough. And this is when we also call upon the private sector to come in and support the sports in this country. Because when we talk about 50 federations and associations, practically you cannot support their activities 100%. But we have the private sector. It can come in and we partner. Government is willing to partner with the private sector. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know the main activity that we came for here is to flag off our national team. I'm happy to see the ladies who are also going to participate. So at this time, I want to stop there and we go for the flag off activity. Thank you.
Abalungi abatuuliriza era abatulaba olunaku olwaleero tuchaddeko ewa Sheikh Ashraf Dembe.
Sebo sanyusa okubalaba amannya agange Seeka Ashraf Dembe akola ku bizibu by'enjawulo. Omuntu singa aba alina ebirwadde tumusomereddwa, tumuwa amazzi ga lukuya nga bw'obadde ogalaba, tugenda abantu ku kyoto ne twokya emizimu emibi egibabaamu n'okulomba edduwa. Abantu singa abeera ng'ali wano atuuse sobola okumulombera edduwa, ne waba atatuuse nga mpadde amannya ge naye ng'ali wala. Neetaase enamba yange yeeno eri 0707763711. Nammwe bannyinaffe abali ebweru oyagala okuba nti oyagala okulombera ku dduwa ng'olina ebizibu, viza zibuze, amaka gakolongotana, sente zikola zimpita mu ngalo, ojja kumpeereza ekifaananyi kyo n'amannya go, ebyo byokka bijja kummala. Nja kukulombera edduwa, ojja kutereera. Olunaku olusembayo mu mwezi mba n'edduwa ey'awamu ffenna n'abalwadde bange abakadde n'abapya. Salaamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.